Namaste, everyone, and welcome to the Monday Anchor to Light meditation. So, before we start, let's just ask for blessings so that what comes out of my mouth has minimal distortion. To the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother, to all the spiritual elders, holy masters, to all the saints of all traditions, archangels, holy angels, and spiritual helpers. Personally, to my teacher, Master Choco Sui Mahagu Jimailing, we humbly ask for divine light, divine love. Thank you for your compassion, purifying light, and soothing, healing energy. We thank you in full faith, and so it is. All right, so I hope all of you had a wonderful weekend. And so here we are with Anchor Light Meditation. And the title for today, let me just show the screen to you again. See if I can show this right. It's the power of inquiry. Okay, inquiry is basically asking questions. And I'm sure you've heard it before. The answer is only as good as the question that is asked. So let me see. Let me go back to here so you guys can see. And the power of inquiry has to do with what is called inner reflection. And oftentimes we have a tendency to say, hey, I couldn't help it. I was talking to someone and they said something and they triggered me to do something or said something that I regretted after. So the simple instruction of the Buddha, actually this came from the Buddha, is this. When a situation happens, everything starts with our mind. So let's say, just to put it in a negative way, because usually that's how we learn more from the bad things or the stupid things we've done rather than the good things we've done. So let's say somebody insulted you. And before you know it, we start reacting, start screaming and yelling. What if you started off by saying, when that person insulted me, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? As in, literally pull yourself out of the cloud and ask that simple question. What am I thinking? What am I feeling? Right? That's the first step. That alone forces us to pull ourselves out of that cloud and observe. Okay? Now, here's the next step. After you pull yourself out of the cloud, what am I thinking? Then the next question is to kind of dive deeper. What are the thoughts I created and what are the feelings I created when this person said these things to me? Or this particular situation happened. What thoughts did I create? What emotions did I create? That alone, most of you would go, because you immediately stop swimming in the mud. You see what I'm saying? You became proactive rather than reactive. You actually pulled yourself out and go, okay, this person just said something that, I don't know, I'll just make something up. Let's say that person says, you are a jerk, a no good piece of crap, whatever. They said something to you. And nobody go, oh yeah? What if you just pause, even for a microsecond, and say, with what they said, what thoughts did I create? What feelings am I feeling? As you observe it, okay, when they said this, when they say I'm full of it, I go, Well, first of all, it made me think like, I want to get even. Is that right? Or, how do I feel? I feel insulted. I feel bad. Interesting. But wait a minute. I created these thoughts. I created these feelings. That alone, the ability to observe it, changes your vantage point. So instead of right there swimming in the mud, you go, oh yeah, you're a jerk too. What happens? You pull yourself up, you go, hold on a second. This person's saying these things. First of all, it's not true. Second thing is, they're not mine. That alone gives you that time to reflect and then choose what thoughts to create, what feelings to create, and what words to say or act or do something. You see the difference? Now, of course, as we keep practicing, there are certain things that change. The fact that you can ask, what thoughts am I creating? Or what am I thinking? Same thing, right? What am I feeling? See, I'm feeling something. It's the same thing as I'm creating these feelings. So implied in that is, who's the thinker, who's the feeler? It's the same thing. The ability to inquire and ask changes your perception of life completely. It makes you more proactive rather than reactive. We'll cover this more in future teachings. But it's as simple as, do you allow them to push your buttons, or you decide what buttons to push within you to respond to what's going on? Huge difference. So the power of inquiry. The person says something or a situation is happening. Let's say it's nothing with anybody else. A certain situation happens. You go to the bank or you go to the post office, whatever, and it's closed. And you're pissed off. Like, man, how come they didn't tell me that it's their day off? Whatever the situation is. First question is, what thoughts am I creating? Oh, I'm thinking that they should not have done that. They should have kept it open. Or, what am I feeling? What feelings am I creating? Frustration and anger. Okay. Who's the one creating these feelings and thoughts? I am. I see. And this is justified. It is justified. So the question is, am I choosing to stay angry? Watch this. Am I continuing to stay feeling this anger, creating this anger? Am I continuously thinking about, oh, they should have kept it open? Why isn't that open? And you ask a simple question, is that going to change anything? No, I still can't go to the bank or make a deposit, or I still can't mail something, but everything is happening outside. So you keep observing and you go, okay, if I keep on this loop of thinking, they should have stayed open, and I'm really pissed off and doing this, what will I get me? Nothing. I'll just stay angry for the rest of the day. Probably this basically destroy the rest of the day. That doesn't make any sense. What's the alternative? The alternative is, well, next time, I'll inquire first. I'll call, I'll search on the web, whatever. Is the bank open this time? Is it the post office at this time? Maybe it's a holiday. You will notice, watch this, the fact that you inquired, your emotions calm down. And the more you inquire, and the more you find the solution, you start noticing your emotions and your mind starts to calm down, and you start having more clarity. Now the question is why. This is the part that most people in Buddhism don't talk about, because I guess they don't specialize in it. It has to do with your chakras. It has to do with energy. It always goes back to one, who you are, and you're the inquirer, right? You're the one observing, you're the one asking the questions. And by the right process, it starts to affect your chakras a certain way, which will affect the way you feel, the way you think, and obviously the way you act. So when you're stressed out and you're pissed off, oh man, this guy said something, or the bank is not open, or the post office is not open, that's on your solar plexus chakra. That's why when you're stressed out, you feel like throwing up, or you're indigestion, you have indigestion, or you have difficulty breathing. That's all your solar plexus chakra here, below your sternum. Now, as you start inquiring, you know what you're doing? You're taking that situation and you're breaking it down. That's done by your throat chakra. Your throat chakra starts breaking down the details. Okay, let's look at this. The bank's not open. Well, I'm already here. Whose fault is that? Well, I should have inquired first. The post office is not open. Okay, whose fault is that? Well, I should have asked first. This person's pissed off and start insulting me. Okay, similar situation. You're emotionally getting triggered, right? You chop it down. You go, well, why are they thinking that way? Why are they doing this to me? Well, first of all, what thoughts am I creating in response to that? The fact that you're taking that thought form or that situation and chopping it down, your throat chakra is involved. And you will notice, simply doing that, you emotionally calm down. And then from the throat chakra, it moves to the Ajna chakra, which, again, most people mistakenly call the third eye, because the third eye is actually up here. But most people only know of 7 chakras, so they're stuck here. But the real third eye is here, okay? The Ajna, or if you're from India, you're already correcting my Sanskrit. I think they call it Agnya, or who cares? You might pronounce it right, but if you know what you're pronouncing, what's the point? So Ajna, Agnya, whatever word you want to call it, it's the directing center. So the Ajna chakra is the one that connected to abstract thinking, seeing the big picture, and synthesizing all the details. So the throat chakra breaks it down. Okay, what thoughts am I creating? The bank's not open. The post office is not open. This person's solving. Okay, what thoughts am I creating? What feelings am I creating? Well, that's the wrong thought, because if I keep playing it over and over in my head, the bank should have been open or something like that, then I come back to the same conclusion. The bank doesn't care. The U.S. post office doesn't care. This person who's insulting me doesn't care. It all has to do with my response to it. So I should have called, or I should have inquired whether the bank, the post office is open. I should just think, okay, this person's pissed off, but their emotional, mental garbage thrown at me is not mine. Okay, very interesting. And then the feeling is, of course, because of that, I'm feeling these things. So what is the solution? Okay, make a note. Next time, inquire before you go to this bank and post office, and this person is screaming, yelling. Solution, no, they'll keep throwing this stuff. This is not mine anyway, so why should I take it? That right there, it went from the solar plexus to the throat to the Ajna chakra, and you start going, so we have different components. How am I thinking? How am I feeling? And am I being proactive or reactive? And what is the situation at hand? You take all this information, you synthesize it, you go, okay, here's the idea. Nothing I can do about the bank and the post office, so anyway, I'll just make a note to myself, find a better time to do it. Done. The person who's screaming and yelling, okay, let me think. Am I going to see this person again? Probably not, so I'll just say namaste and in my mind just go away and leave. And don't let it affect me, like they don't exist. Oh, but I'm going to see this person again, so I think I should calm the situation down and not react and swim in their mud. It's not my mud, it's their mud, so let me not swim in their mud. Then again, I'm better than this. So I'm actually going to try to help this guy. I'm actually trying to calm them down and offer them solutions. Like, you're calling me a jerk, a good for nonsense, good for nothing person. Maybe I'll just say, I'm sorry what you're feeling that way. Is there something I can do to help you? Why do you think I'm feeling that way? In other words, you go through a compassionate route. You can do that. So you see, you won't be able to do any of that stuff if you're already sucked into the mud. Do you get my point? All these things, anybody can figure that out. Don't scream and yell. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't be pissed over the bank or the post. You can do it. All of that is obvious if you look at it from the third person's viewpoint. Right? But when you're swimming in it, you can't. You're like, then you go, what if there's a way for you to be able to get to that point of seeing the options and deciding what the options are while you're in it? It's very simple. You inquire. That's the lesson today. As the Buddha said, first, know what you're thinking. And number two, why you're thinking what you're thinking of. Let's do this again. Ask, what are you thinking? And second question is, why are you thinking of what you're thinking of? Isn't that called inquiry? Of course, oftentimes with thoughts are attached certain feelings and emotions. So, same thing. What am I feeling? I'm feeling really frustrated. Why am I feeling frustrated? Because of this. Okay. So next question is, who's the one thinking? Who's the one feeling? I am. So I created these feelings and thoughts. So next question is, do I want to keep swimming in that emotional mud, that mental mud? Or do I want to get out of it and have a better life and be happy? Oh, hey, you dumb butt. Of course I want to be happy. All right. So as you have this conversation in your head, at some point, if you stay with it, you come up with one conclusion alone. If you want to be happy, you have to realize this is not what I want and choose an alternative. But most people, they don't get that far because it's easier by inertia to just swim in the money. The post office go, I'm so pissed off. He ruined my day. He messed up my schedule. This guy was so nasty to me. Blah, 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 blah. Drama. Isn't it? Regardless whether it's your employees, your boss, your family members, it doesn't matter. It's the same. Because I always see people say, yeah, but you don't understand. I live with someone, I work with whatever. It's all the same. It's all the same. Are you proactive? Are you reactive? If you're reactive, I don't care if it's somebody you live with or somebody you see or somebody you work with. It's the same thing. But if you're proactive, it's the same. You just say, okay, this person I'm living with pisses me off or does this, does that. Okay, question number one. What am I thinking? And why am I thinking these things or feeling these things when I'm with this person? Number two, do I want to keep living this way? Yes or no? No? Okay, what am I going to do about it? Without that ability to inquire, you're screwed. I don't care what technique. You can meditate all day long about Om and all these things. If you don't have the realization of, I created these thoughts, I created these feelings, who am I? And why am I creating these things? You can make any affirmation you like, you're still swimming in the mud. Period. Full stop. You can turn this off now. Now, I know some of you, it always happens. Yeah, you were too harsh. Well, you know my answer to that, right? Go find another teacher. I'm not going to enable your weakness because my teacher never did. He never said, it's okay to be pissed off. It's okay to swim in the mud. He never told me that. Basically, he said, get out of the mud. If you truly want to help somebody, you cannot help someone if you're swimming in the mud. Yes, Master. And that's what the purpose of this teaching is. That's it. The power of inquiry is simple. It's very powerful. I didn't say easy, but it's super effective. Because it takes the emotional mud that a lot of people are swimming in, and then what? Makes that soul realize, I am not this mud, and pull themselves out. Once they pull themselves out, they get to observe the mud. They go, I can't believe I'm swimming in all that crap. Which usually happens for most people after the fact. So, let me just go through it. This is not part of this talk, but I'll share it with you. The different levels of awareness. Because without awareness, you can't make any course corrections. So the inquiry, the questioning, the inner reflection, they're all the same thing. Creates awareness. Because the fact that you're asking, what thoughts am I creating? What thoughts am I thinking when this situation happened? That alone, as soon as you ask the question, after you get an answer, assuming you're not lying to yourself, raises the awareness. You go, oh, every time I see this person, I start thinking this guy's going to cheat me, or this person is going to hit me. Then you start observing, oh, now you're aware that every time you see this person, this was the tendency before. See the difference? So inquiry, inner reflection, creates awareness. So this awareness has many levels. As we always say, most people, the awareness, well, let me back up. Actually, the step one or level one awareness is zero. No, let me do it again. Level zero awareness means we're oblivious. We don't know. We just keep, every time the person said something, they ruin our day. Every time a situation happened, we get upset, we get angry, whatever. That's zero awareness. Because we keep swimming in that same mud and not realizing we're in the mud. That's like, 70-80% of the population. And because of that, social media plays with their consciousness. Think about it. Yeah, you look at something, I don't like it, that guy's a jerk, oh, blah, 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 whatever. Their opinion is easy to just type because they don't have to face that person. And so everybody has an opinion. Everybody's an expert because they can sit behind their screen like that. They can keep swimming in the mud and keep dumping mud. That's called zero awareness. Level one awareness is like, oh, I messed up. I should not have done that, right? After the fact, as they say, hindsight vision is 20/20. You have always perfect vision after. So at least afterwards you go, okay, next time I'm going to check the bank before I show up. Next time I see this person, I'm going to be aware that last time we met, I was too harsh. That's level one awareness. Better than none, but still not good enough because it's always screw up, then realize. Level two awareness is like, while we're going through it, you snap out of it. Like you're standing in front of the bank desk, I go, wait. Okay. I don't really want to stay in this mud long. Yeah, it's upsetting. I went all the way here, canceled all my appointments, just show up and it's closed. All right. So question is, do I keep doing this or do I get out of it? In other words, we're able to be aware enough. Okay, don't do this. Stop ourselves so the suffering either diminishes or stop. Next level of awareness is before, which is where you want to get to. Before it happens, you go, okay, let me check, you see if the bank is open. Oh, I'm going to meet this person. And I know that when I meet this person in the past, he has always triggered me by saying certain things. So I'm not going to let that happen. So that awareness alone prepares you. For most people, you get that far, you're already considered a saint. Think about it. However, to the standards of a spiritual practitioner, it's not good enough. Why is it not good enough? Because what you want, all we want to achieve, is to get to a certain level that no matter what's happening, you get to observe and you don't get triggered. I didn't say it's easy, but it can be done. Here's the best news of all. The more often you practice this, the easier it gets because it becomes part of your emotional mental routine. Things start happening, you start observing. Interesting. Okay, do I really want to swim in that mud? No. Or when somebody's screaming, yelling, you're able to go, that's not my stuff. So I'm not going to let it affect me. Or let's say we mess up, we screw up, right? Everybody make mistakes. You go, okay, I'm going to keep beating myself up that I messed up and have this guilt keep following me everywhere. Or I want to learn the mistake and snap out of it and move on. I'm going to move on. All that takes just one thing to get started. Inquire properly. When this situation happens, what thoughts am I creating? Same thing as what am I thinking? What am I feeling? Which is what feelings am I creating? And of course, when you get to that part, the next question you ask is, who's the thinking feeling? I am. So if I'm the one creating these thoughts and feelings, so I get the choice and I have the power to decide what to think, what to feel, and what to say, and what to act. That's it. Could you imagine if every person in the world at least get to the part in the inquiry? Would things change? Look at your life. Just look back the past year. All the things we've done. If every single time we just simply took a few microseconds to ask the question, what am I thinking and why am I thinking these things? What am I feeling and why am I feeling these things? That alone will put the brakes on every screw up we've ever done by at least 50%. I say we again because just like you, I've had my share of screw ups. And every time I look back, I go, yep, same cause. Lack of awareness. I allowed the circumstances to control me rather than the other way around. Think about it. You don't want the energy to stay in your solar plexus. You want to move it up to your Ajna chakra and higher. That's called transmutation. All right. So let's do our meditation. Now, before we do this, I know a lot of you are going to get really spaced out after, so I'll just make a quick announcement. There's going to be a Christmas meditation. We're going to have it available only on mastercode.org or planethealing.com. It's not going to be in Facebook or Instagram because we're going to have it there. I'm recording it. I'm putting it there so you can do it anytime, because I know if you have a Judeo-Christian background, you know, you're celebrating with family, you're shopping. So we want to have it there for you to do at any time at your convenience, and you can bring friends with you. Okay, so that's going to be, I'll just show that to you. Oh, I don't have it on the other one. It's the title is Be Still and Know that I Am. Actually, the whole verse is from Psalms, Be Still and Know I Am God. I'll go that in detail. And essentially, it is how to use the I Am to calm the inner storm and create love and harmony in your life. That is the message of Christmas anyway, whether you're Christian or not. Christ consciousness, unconditional love. So we'll do a short lecture, and then we'll do meditation twin hearts. Let's just say Christmas version. All right? So that's going to be available on Wednesday. Thursday. Sorry, Thursday. Anyway, you'll be informed. We'll put it on social media, at least let you know about it. And then, of course, in January 1st, let me just show that to you again. It's the New Year's Day workshop. It's the second most popular workshop we have next to Wesak Festival. And that's where we do cleaning house, basically. We take all the thought forms, negative thoughts and emotions we created in the past year or before, disintegrate a lot of them, and create positive ones to install in our aura and our chakras to give us a more successful 2023 and beyond. And the theme there is always the same. Big fish eat small fish. What does that mean? Whatever thoughts and emotions we created, it's the ones going to run our lives. So if you don't, those are the big fish. So your affirmations, your visualizations, New Year Day resolutions are completely useless if you don't clean the closet. That's why they don't last. Because the old thought forms have momentum and they're stronger. So the thought forms you create now, gone. And before you know it, you're back to your old routine. The good news is, instead of you using willpower, no, I'm going to overcome this, you just use energy, disintegrate it, like, for example, with violet light and different techniques, and create powerful ones and just install it in your aura and your chakras. Okay, so that's going to be January 1, 10 a.m. California time. And here in Southern California, if you're a Hatha Yogi, you're welcome to join us in person. We have limited space, so you have to call the office. So we'll tell you the secret location, secret password, and secret entrance. No, I'm kidding. Something like that. Because it can only fit so many people. All right, January 1, California time, 10 a.m. The rest of you can join us online. It's going to be about 2 hours. Some of you go, yeah, but it's 2 hours. I don't have 2 hours. Well, you spend 2 hours to have a better year, or skip 2 hours and let your old patterns continue for the next year. You decide. Shall we? To the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother, to all the spiritual elders, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, and spiritual helpers, personally to my teacher, Master Chokoksui Mahaguju Meiling, we thank you for your compassionate, purifying light and soothing, healing energy. We thank you in full faith, and so it is. Okay, put your hand like this. Be aware of your crown. I am that. I'm not the body. I'm not the emotion or the thoughts. I am the soul. I am a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, and divine power. I am that. The soul, the spiritual self, the creator of the thoughts, creator of the feelings, creator of the movements and actions of this body. I am that. That I am. Be still. I am connected in one to my higher soul. I am connected in one to the divine spark within me. I am a child of God. I am one with God. I am one with all. There's only oneness. Just be still. Just be aware of your crown. Just your crown and nothing else. I am that. That I am. I am that. That I am. I am that. That I am. Just be still. You might feel your consciousness rising beyond the crown. Just let it float on its own, like a balloon. Let it float wherever it wants to go. And just keep repeating, I am that. I am that being of light. That I am. I am that. That I am. I am that being of light. I am that radiant being of light. That I am. I am that. That I am. Just be still. I am that. I am that radiant being of light. That I am. I am that. That I am. Just be still. I am that radiant self of light. That self am I. I am that radiant self of light. That self am I. Just keep looking at that light above your head. Some of you see it already. You don't have to actually see it. It is there. There's a brilliant light above your head. Just look at it. You might think you're imagining it. That's the right way of doing it. Just look at that light. Say, I am that light. I am that brilliant light. I am that radiant light. I am that. That I am. I am that radiant self of light. That self am I. I am that self. That self am I. I am that spiritual self. That self am I. Just be still. That self in me is one with a self in all. We are one. Just keep looking at that light. That self in me is one with a self in all. I am that. That I am. Just be still. Allow your entire consciousness and awareness to just simply dissolve into that light. Be still. I am. I am that. I am. I am that I am. I am who I am. I am one with the universal I am. Gently, slowly, very gently, slowly come back. Move your fingers and move your toes, slowly come back. Raise your hands in blessing. We always do this because you generate so much energy. The excess energy you want to share with people you love. So visualize the people in front of you, the people you love. Fill them with beautiful golden light. May all of them be blessed with good health, with happiness, with abundance and prosperity, and with spirituality. So be it. Bless your home. Bless your relatives and friends, the people you work with. Fill them all with beautiful golden light. Now be aware of your feet and the base of your spine. Put your golden light down into the earth and verbally repeat after me. Let our beloved Mother Earth be blessed with divine light, divine love, and divine power. Let our beloved Mother Earth be healed, regenerated, and revitalized. Blessings be to Mother Earth. So be it, and so it is. Let's give thanks to the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother. Thank you. To all the spiritual elders, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, spiritual helpers. To my teacher, Master Chokoksui Mahagujimei, thank you. In full faith, and so it is. All right. So how was your meditation? Here's how you test it. Keep your eyes open. Okay? Keep your eyes open. Observe the thoughts that you're creating. Observe your consciousness. Observe your emotions. Observe your body. How many of you are able to get to a place where you're actually watching? Observe your thoughts like clouds in the sky. Interesting. There are no clouds. Okay. It's that simple. The only part that is difficult for most people is to just snap out of it and say, okay, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? Who's creating these thoughts? Who's creating these feelings? That's the part that it takes someone to wake up and inquire. You can do that. You'll avert probably 80-90% of the problems you create. Think about it. Whatever the situation is, it's happening outside of the I. So if you're able to remember who I am, then I get to realize, oh, I'm creating these thoughts and these feelings. Then I get to choose what I create afterwards. That's it. All right. So this went a little long. I hope you got something out of it. We will see you in part 2 for today at least. So that's 7 hours and 11 minutes from now. Anchor Light Meditation. So again, a quick reminder, there's going to be the Christmas meditation, lecture and meditation, essentially how to calm the inner storm and experience stillness anytime you want. And on January 1, again, just put this on here, just go to masterco.org, on both of them, masterco.org, and you can register. It's not going to be on social media. Let me just repeat for new people coming aboard. It's not going to be in social media because, number one, it's too long, probably 2 hours. And I want to be able to guide you through and not have to be worried about being censored of what I say. So it's going to be a closed room. So you have to register. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. You're welcome to give a donation if you like. But it's going to be on masterco.org. Okay? And that's January 1, 10 a.m. California time. And that's pretty much it. And for some of you who still have not registered, want to really learn pranic healing, we're teaching level 1 to level 4. That's in Chicago, January 20 to 24, February 2 to 6 in Southern California. That one is by the beach. And if you decide to come, be ready to work. Because we're going to work it from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. It's going to be lecture, practice, and the way you see me teach here is multiplied by 10 times in person. You can ask the people taking class with me. Because we want to make sure not only you learn the technique, we want to make sure you can perform it. And so we practice the heck out of it. So if you don't want to work, don't show up. All right. Namaste, everyone. Thank you very much for joining me, and we will see you in a few hours. God bless, take care, and see you soon.